Hey everybody, Joe here. Welcome back to 360 Comics. Today we are moving on to part 4 of our Bronze Age collection haul, and this one includes a big hodgepodge of a bunch of different Marvel titles. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, follow on Instagram, and enter our giveaways. And don't forget to go back and watch the first 3 videos from this collection haul. And definitely keep your eye out for that 5th video, including the big grail. I'm going to have all the videos linked down below in the description, so check them out if you haven't done so yet. Quick little recap on this collection. Bronze Age, a little bit of Copper Age stuff. Almost entirely newsstand edition, completely unbagged and boarded for the past 35 years up in an attic, and I was fortunate enough to pick it up, and it was a pretty big collection, lots of books, took a long time to sort, but like I said, we're getting to the Marvel stuff today that's a little bit more mismatched, and there were only like a couple issues of each of these titles, so it didn't make sense to make their own video. And we're going to kick it off right now with some Marvel Premiere. We've got Marvel Premiere number 19 here, and this is, let's see, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So this is the 5th appearance of Iron Fist, but it is the first appearance of Colleen Wing, and I think more importantly, it is a book that has an advertisement for one of the biggest grails ever, Hulk 181. There's an advertisement in this book for Hulk 181. I believe it came out the same week. Might have been the week before, but I think it was the same week that this Iron Fist book came out. So it's got that ad for Hulk 181. There's a couple books like that. I forget the Thor number, but I know Daredevil is 115. That has an advertisement for Hulk 181 as well. So those Wolverine collectors out there, this is a great book to pick up as just a kind of a small key, Wolverine preview or advertisement appearance. Moving on now to number 25 in the Marvel Premiere run, another Iron Fist book. This one features the first artwork on Iron Fist by John Byrne. John Byrne being a very, very popular Bronze Age and Copper Age Marvel artist, and mainly known for his team up with Chris Claremont on the Uncanny X-Men run, but Iron Fist is another one that he lent his pen to and did some great art on this stuff. In this collection, I already sold it off, but there was an Iron Fist 15, not 14. 14 is the first Sabretooth. That's a really expensive book. Number 15 is people like it. It's a battle between Iron Fist and the X-Men. It's considered a key, but I actually sold that one off at the convention a couple weeks ago. But I thought I'd mention it here. Next, we're moving on to What If, and we've been treated to the first season of What If from Marvel, the Disney Plus shows, and it looks like we're getting a second season now, and I'm stoked about that because there's so many good stories to tell. This one's kind of a funny one. This is number 11, and this is what if the original Marvel bullpen had become the Fantastic Four. So this has Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and friends becoming the members of the Fantastic Four, getting their powers, and it's just a silly what if. Some of these are really cool stories, and other ones were made for comedic value. You'll see that a little bit later on as well. Next up is number 45. This is What If Hulk Went Berserk, and this is that second run of What If, by the way. This one has some amazing Bill Sienkiewicz. Someone please tell me how to pronounce this guy's name. I've been saying it forever, probably wrong, but I'm going to say Bill Sienkiewicz for this video because that's what I hear the most. Bill Sienkiewicz art with Hulk on the front, amazing stuff. Really, really dove into his particular style of art. And there were a bunch of his books in this whole collection. Here's another one, What If number 47, just 2 issues later. This one has caught some steam, and I think with the popularity of Loki, especially after the show, and the probability of a second season of the show, this book will only continue to climb. We got What If Loki Had Found the Hammer of Thor, with a great Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Boom. Looks awesome, with Loki holding the hammer, lightning behind him. Love it. Amazing artwork here. Honestly, I'm not huge on Thor or Loki, but this book I was thinking about keeping just for the cover. We're going to move on to a character that I have always loved. We got Beast in Amazing Adventure, and Amazing Adventure 11 is a pretty pricey book. It's the first time we ever see Beast with fur. Now, he has gray fur in the first few issues. This is his, third appearance with fur. Not a particularly expensive book by any means for that reason, but this also has some key significance. It's the first appearance since the Golden Age of Buzz Baxter. For that reason, this book, kind of holds some value. And I have never found any of these Amazing Adventure books in the wild before, at least any of the key ones. I found 14 a lot. That's one that you see a lot. It's probably the cheapest of all of them. It's the last issue with him with the gray fur, but no one really cares about that, and it doesn't have any other key significance. Although this one I was so stoked to find. This one's almost as good as finding number 11. We've got number 15. This is the first issue with his classic blue fur, as you can see. It has changed colors in this issue, and this is kind of, having grown up in the 90s, this is how we saw Beast. In the animated series, and then in the movies, once he does get fur in the movies, this is how he's pictured. You really don't see him anywhere else with gray fur. So great stuff here. Love the character, and this is definitely one that I'm keeping. The next book here, I kind of passed through this book because most of the reprints, like Marvel's Greatest Comics, Marvel Tales, aren't really, people don't want them. This is an exception. This is Marvel's Greatest Comics number 35, and this one reprints Fantastic Four 48, the first appearance of Silver Surfer, a major Silver Age key that's unattainable for most people. When I was buying this collection, I was going through it, and the guy was like, I think I have the first Silver Surfer and this first Galactus in here. And I was looking the whole time, and I didn't see it. And I think this is what he meant. I think he thought that this, maybe he thought it was the first printing, the FF48, or he had just forgotten exactly what he had. But I was still stoked to find this. These sell for between $20 and $40 depending on the condition. And to go along with it, the very next issue, number 36, this is a reprinting of FF49, the first Galactus appearance, right on the cover there. These are great reprints. These were the first reprints of those books. That story's probably been reprinted a bunch, and there's, facsimile versions and things like that. But these were the first ones, so they do hold the most value as far as the reprints go. The next group I love to see because I am currently working on a Daredevil run. There were a lot of great filler issues from the not late silver, but the 15-cent age, which is, some people call it silver, but really most of the 15-cent books are bronze. We've got Daredevil 79 here, and this one has an appearance by none other than Stan Lee. And people love to see Stan Lee in the comics. He's kind of a character that we all know and love. Kind of the godfather of Marvel that gave us so many of the great characters. Can't really beat him, and his appearances are coveted by people. So this one has him in there. Skipping ahead, there wasn't like a 131, which is first Bullseye, or the first Frank Miller, first Elektra. It skipped pretty far ahead. But there were some Daredevils from the late hundreds and the early 200s. And here we have 189. This is the death of Stick, but I honestly think that the cover is more of what gives it value than that key significance. Really awesome Daredevil cover with the yellow background. Makes it pop. Love it. The next issue, this is a pretty good one, number 190. This is the resurrection of Elektra as well as her origin story. Again, a phenomenal cover from the Bronze Age. A couple issues later, we got a Wolverine appearance on the cover here, 196. And this is the first appearance of, I can't remember his name. He's like the doctor scientist guy who does something with adamantium. What does he do? He invents the process to bond adamantium to bone, which obviously is Wolverine's whole thing with the Weapon X project. And he has his first appearance in this book. So another, minor Wolverine-related key significance there. This next one's pretty funny. I'm going to pop these down for a second and move on to Dazzler 33. And really, as far as the Dazzler solo run goes, you really only want book number 1 and this one, number 33. These are the only ones that really hold any value. This one is the title of the story is called Chiller, and it's got this great homage artwork that kind of mimics Michael Jackson's music video for the song Thriller. Michael Jackson obviously has his red leather jacket kind of thing on, and we have a character there on the front with the leather jacket, and there's like monsters, zombies, and that seems to be what this book is about. I've actually never read this one, but I know about this iconic cover, and like I said, it's one that people like to pick up just because of the cool little reference. This next one I was so stoked about finding because this is another book that I've never found in the wild before. We've got Power Pack number 1. And, Power Pack, not a particularly sought-after book. In fact, the rest of the run is, you can find those books in dollar bins, other than number 1. This is the first team appearance of Power Pack. And Jim from Bronzeville Comics recently made a statement that I totally agree with. He said, if they wanted to do like a Power Pack series, maybe possibly animated, maybe live action, that might be a cool thing to do for Disney Plus, more towards the kids' end, which I think definitely a great idea. I think they're going to really expand the universe a lot, and this might be one that they touch on in the future. So stoked about finding this for the first time. And speaking of the MCU, we got a character here that is coming, a couple characters actually referenced that are coming or have made a little appearance. We've got Warlock number 12 here. Warlock, obviously, we know has been cast and is coming to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And if you haven't seen Eternals yet, I would turn the sound down because there's a little end credit spoiler here. I'll just say it real quick. And that is Pip the Troll shows up. And this is the origin story of Pip the Troll. Obviously, a character coming to the MCU. Will he kind of be just a minor reference, or will he be a mainstay in the MCU? I don't know. Probably not a major character by any means, but I think we'll see him again. I don't think we're just having him introduce Eros and then, disappearing. The very next issue here of Warlock contains the first appearance of Star Thief. Kind of a minor key. Nothing really super exciting about that. I haven't heard any sort of speculation, but, just a nice Bronze Age key and part of that Warlock run. Next, we're moving on to the Marvel team-up, and if you watch my Spider-Man video, you already know there was the one really good one in there, Marvel Team-Up 141. That is the tied for the first appearance or tied for the second appearance, depending on who you ask, of Spider-Man in the black suit. This is a great one. This is Spider-Man as well. We got SpiderMan and Frog Man here. And this is the first appearance of the, White Rabbit? Yeah, White Rabbit. Couldn't remember her name. She's on the front. Great cover appearance. And this book is a lot more expensive than I thought it was. I was very surprised that it was more than $5, to be honest. But hey, I guess people love their Frogman, and you got a great cover here, so that's what it is. This last one's kind of funny. Before we move on to our there's a couple cheaper ones here, but we've got Marvel Team Up 137, and I love this book, and this is one that I tell people about a lot. That's just kind of a comedic value here. It's a team up between Aunt May and Franklin Richards. The child of the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards and Sue Storm. And then the aunt of Spider-Man, Peter Parker, teaming up, and you'll notice that Aunt May looks a little bit different on this cover. That's because she has assumed the alias of the Golden Oldie, which I think is probably the funniest part of all this. Maybe not, because there's a lot of funny stuff. Anyway, she's a Herald of Galactus in this book, and her and Franklin Richards are going around the universe, and I kid you not, I'm being dead serious that this is what the story is about. They're trying to find a Twinkie big enough to satisfy Galactus. I'm going to say that one more time. Aunt May, Peter Parker's aunt, who is called the Golden Oldie in this book, and Franklin Richards, the son of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman, are heralds of Galactus going around the universe trying to find a Twinkie big enough to satisfy Galactus. Just in case you didn't hear it the first time, I said it again. That is what this story is about. Hilarious stuff. It's not a very expensive key, but people like to pick it up just because it's funny. I think that it is, I read somewhere, it's like a promotional thing with Hostess, which is a company that makes like, tasty cakes and like dessert cake thing, whatever, Twinkies. Yeah, funny stuff. We got a couple more cheap ones until we get into the big expensive keys here. We've got the Defenders number 27, first appearance of Starhawk. A little minor first appearance there. Number 94 from the Defenders, and this is the first appearance of the new Hellcat. I've heard her referred to as Demonic Hellcat. I don't know why. I haven't read any of this run, but there you go. We've got Tomb of Dracula, number 70. This is the last book in the run. Usually when it gets down to the last book, it's scarcer because there's less printed, because they cancel it because not as many people are reading it. So they're a little bit scarce, usually the last issue or the last couple issues. Speaking of Dracula here, I've got a cool little 3-part Doctor Strange story. We've got number 60, Doctor Strange number 60, and this involves this is a kind of a crossover between Doctor Strange and Dracula. And I think I'm going to keep these for myself because I'm a big Dracula fan, so, and just horror in general. I think these are a cool little story. I'm definitely going to read them. This one has the first meetup between Doctor Strange and Blade. This is number 61. And like I said, it's a 3-part arc. So we've got, wait, these are out of order. Oops, sorry about that, guys. This is number 61. And then this is number 62, the last one in that 3-part arc. So I'm going to check these out, and if they're good, I'll definitely recommend them to you. A couple Nova books here before we get to our big keys. We've got number 12, the first appearance of Photon. Who knows? Obviously, there's a lot of speculation on Nova coming to the MCU. We saw the Nova Corps already. Or, are we going to see actual Nova? I don't know. Maybe. Are we going to see these characters? Probably not, but who knows? Number 13, the first appearance of Crime Buster. Again, just a minor key. I don't think there's any speculation here. And number 21, this is the first cameo appearance of Comet. Great cover of this Nova number 21 here. Let's get down to the big keys now. There are 5 of them that I pulled out from this bunch. And they're nice ones. I'm going to start slow. So this is probably the least coveted of those. This is Jungle Action featuring Black Panther number 19. And in this issue, as you can see on the front, has Black Panther kicking the crap out of the KKK. And I love to see that. A lot of people pick up these books, the civil rights related books and things like that. And for that reason, this book is a coveted one. People love this. It's in mid-grade. High-grade ones I saw going for over $100 online. This is kind of a mid-grade one. Might be a personal collection book that I keep, unless I can find one in a higher grade. Up next is Submariner 34. And this is kind of the unofficial first appearance of the Defenders. We've got Namor, we've got Silver Surfer, we got Hulk. So, they have a battle here. They team up together. So a lot of people consider this the first kind of unofficial appearance. They're not called the Defenders. They're not putting a team together, but they're fighting together. And, for that reason, this becomes a key book. The very next issue as well has some Defenders value here. We've got number 35, and in this, the Defenders, they're not called that yet, it's unofficial, again team up to fight against the Avengers. So kind of the first unofficial battle there between the two, leading us to this next book, Marvel feature number 1, the first appearance of the Defenders, the first official one. Now, unfortunately, you can see this is a returned copy, meaning that the title was ripped off of the top, and it's actually, usually it's only about this much. This one has half the front cover ripped off, which is such a bummer because this cover is great with the Defenders charging right at you. We got Doctor Strange and Namor and Hulk right in the middle, and you can't see any of that, unfortunately. This book is pricey, and I actually have a number 2 to go along with it. Unfortunately, like I said, this one is very damaged, has the half the front cover ripped off, nowhere near as valuable as it would be otherwise, but what can you do? Which takes us to this last book. This is an amazing Marvel spec book to have, and in fact, I sold it already. This book is hot, super hot, and I had someone ask about it, and I decided to let this one go, and that is Marvel Premiere number 1. In this issue, we have the first appearance of him as Warlock. He gets the name Warlock in this book. It's his first solo as well. He's given that name Warlock by the High Evolutionary, and in the second book of this run, Marvel Premiere, he's then given the name Adam as well. So he's becomes Adam Warlock over the course of these 2 books. I think this is the first appearance of the Soul Stone. There's the Soul Gem rather, as well. Which don't quote me on that. It might not be. I think it is though. Yeah, this book it's been kind of creeping up over the last couple years. It definitely had a big spike when Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 came out, and we saw the cocoon that him emerges from. You know, value went up, but then it settled quite a bit, and then started slowly going up. And then last month, when we heard Will Poulter will be playing Adam Warlock in the MCU, this book has just been on a climb ever since. And like I said, I couldn't even hold on to it. Someone bought it right away, and I'll be shipping it out to them tomorrow. Great book to have. Not super high grade. This is a tough book because, one, it's an old book. It's a 20 center. But in addition to that, it's got that black cover, that black border around the end. And this one is just full of spine ticks, but a great find nonetheless. So stoked to see this in the collection. This is one of the books that I did not see on the first time through, and I had to wait until I got home to actually go through everything, and found this one. So great little pickup on the end there. This whole group was great. There's a lot of stuff that has some MCU potential, some Disney Plus potential, and just some cool keys in general. Stoked about it. You guys need to look out for that next video though, because I know I've been saying this, the Grail is coming. The 5th and final video of this collection, I'm going to put it out on Friday morning, and it's going to have the one huge book, like, it blows this one out of the water and blows ASM 252 out of the water. And Tales of Teen Titans 44 doesn't compare. I'm so stoked to show you guys that. Some of you know already. I know I've talked about it on some podcasts and lives and other thing like that. But if you haven't seen it yet, you're going to want to stick around for that. And I'm gonna talk a lot about that and what I plan to do with it as well. So keep an eye out for that video, and don't forget, make sure you subscribe to this video or subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this whole haul that I've got of miscellaneous Marvel books. And until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.